Hello internet, my name is Lave and it's December. With Christmas right around the corner, I went to the cinema and watched The Man Who Invented Christmas, which is a semi-autobiography comedy drama about Charles Dickens, specifically the 6 weeks it took him to develop and create arguably his most famous tale, A Christmas Carol. So the cynical part of me went into this film thinking this is just another version of the much beloved story of Scrooge and Tiny Tim, which we've seen done over and over and over again. And indeed, this film does recreate some of those iconic moments and characters and set pieces which we all know and love, but it does do it in a really fun and playful way. In fact, that is when the film was at its most fun for me, because Charles Dickens is struggling with writer's block, so he goes out into the real world and gets inspiration from real people and the real environment. And in general, I love films that explore the creative process, and this film does do it very well, with some comedic moments due to his writer's block. However, I do think the film stumbles a little bit in its delivery of its concept. I don't want to say that it's convoluted or messy, that's too strong. I do think that the makers were a bit too ambitious with the amount of character development they tried to cram in. As a result of that, Charles Dickens's character arc in this sometimes feels a bit unfocused. Without going into spoilers, I'll try and give an example. So as I said, the film does explore the creative process, and Charles actually imagines his characters and has interactions with them. That's really fun, as I said. But then at the same time, it's also exploring his personal life. He's got financial problems, and it's also commenting on the social divide between the rich and poor, which of course is a theme in A Christmas Carol. But then the film periodically flashes back to a traumatic moment in his life as a child and begins to ask psychological questions and explore his psyche about a significant relationship that Charles Dickens has with a real person in his life. And what is interesting about that is that it suggests that Scrooge is a byproduct of that, and his interactions with him actually helps him deal with that. Now, this is all really interesting, and I will say that the film does tie up all of these themes by the end, but it does mean that the film is tonally quite unbalanced. The first half of the film is a comedy. The second half of the film is the drama. This does all add up to a pleasant and satisfying conclusion, and there's plenty of other things to enjoy in this film as well. The production values are good. Everything is all suitably 19th century with really good costume designs. The environments are also very good with some CG assistance. This isn't a CG driven film, but it is for the most part very good, despite the fact that Scrooge says that, oh, I hate London because of all of this fog. And I was sitting there thinking, it actually looks very clean for 19th century London. I also enjoyed all of the performances in this. I liked Dan Stevens as Charles Dickens. Something about his performance reminded me a little bit of Willy Wonka. There's a bit of anarchy behind his creativity and his eyes, but all in all, he's a likeable Charles Dickens. And I also thought that Christopher Plummer made for an excellent fleshed out Scrooge. He tops off a brilliant cast of veteran quality actors, too many to name here, but a special mention has to go to Miles Jupp, who is an English comedian who I love. I think he's really funny, and he's perfectly cast in this small but very good role. So that's my thoughts on The Man Who Invented Christmas, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. As I say, it's a very pleasant watch, if not a bit unbalanced. I can see myself watching this again at Christmas, but I will say that if it's a choice between this and one of the other iterations of A Christmas Carol, like The Muppets Christmas Carol, I think I'm going to choose Muppets Christmas Carol. Oh, God bless everyone. That's my really shitty Kermit impression. So thanks very much for watching this review. I really do appreciate it. It feels like this is the first one I've done in a while. There is a reason for that. I went away last weekend, and then when I came back, I was ill. I won't go into the gruesome details. So I haven't seen a lot of the new releases like Battle of the Sexes and Daddy's Home 2. Not too bothered about that, but also Wonder. So I'm playing catch up, but in the interim, I have been working on another video to celebrate the fact that I've recently hit 1,500 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So please keep an eye out for that, but in the meantime, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the lave. Humbug. Subscribe.